No, I think we've set expectations here. The online marketplace, it's noisy, right? But the
Hmm.
good listings are out there for those who know how to spot them. We're trying to teach you how to look through that noise or listen through that noise. You look for
Hmm.
professionalism. I think we talked about that. Look for
So true.
responsiveness from the broker. Yeah, you got a good response from that broker and he quickly alerted you that it was fraud. Look for that transparency. Make sure that these things are what they say they are. The minute you see that something's not, you've stumbled upon that kind of scammy
Hmm.
fraud stuff. If they're trying to pitch you something else and all you wanted to see was information on that listing, that's an immediate red flag. Don't be afraid to ask direct questions. That's what brokers
Yes.
are really here for. It's the best deals, like you said, that they're earned through diligence. They're earned through relationships. It's not going to be that you just found one and stumbled on it by luck. You found that listing that's one times cash flow or one and a half times cash flow.
Hmm.
When you approach the buying process as a student rather than just kind of shopping around and seeing what you can find,
Hmm.
you will start seeing opportunities that others completely miss. So
You're
be a
exactly
student
correct.
of make it a process. Create a process. I'm a process oriented guy. If I'm
Hmm.
doing something, you can bet it's been listed out and documented how I'm going to do it if I'm going to be serious about it. And you've got to approach finding a business in the marketplace almost the same way. You got to say, how much time am I going to dedicate to this? What am I looking for? What am I not looking for? What is considered noise? Make that a process, and then you'll start seeing opportunities really come in. Then you can start, making offers and really doing due diligence because you've got a
Hmm.
couple things that you've looked at. Not every deal that you go forward with is going to work out. There's going to be red
That's
flags. There's
okay.
going to be warts that you can't. Every business has warts, right? We've said that time and time again. There's going to
Yes.
be some warts that you can't tolerate. That just won't work for me. That's too
That's okay.
too high my risk tolerance. But once you identify enough opportunities and start the process, but you can't start unless they're real opportunities. And so hopefully we've given some people some good advice of how to streamline that process and knock out a lot of that noise and fraud and scam stuff that we see all the time.
You're right. Look for transparency in brokers and listings. You will, if you take a few minutes to do the homework we gave you today, you will be able to tell very quickly which firms are legit, which are not, and which people you're going to want to at least have a conversation and speak with. It's so important to do your homework. Not all listings are created equal, and you may see some listings that, hey, why is the price so much more than the cash flow? This just makes no sense. Well, sometimes as a broker, it's not our choice. The client wants a certain price, and we advise them, hey, that's not a good idea to do that. But if you insist, we'll do it. Just know that we need to get back to realistic terms pretty quick. That you want to test the market, as the old saying goes, right? Don't assume every broker has the price the way they do for an exact reason either. There's always a backstory. There's always a reason. But by filling out the NDA, by developing relationships, you will understand why some of those opportunities are the way they are and why you need to do your homework. And I'll finish on this statement. If you're serious about buying a business, the best deals aren't just found. They're earned through diligence, relationships, and understanding what makes a listing a real listing. And I think Chris and I today have given you a bunch of content on how to spot the bad. And the reason we didn't highlight as many good listings on the screen, because if you know what the bad ones look like, you'll know what the good ones are. You don't need to learn what a good one is, how to identify the bad ones. Because when you identify the bad ones, you'll save your time and energy going through that junk, and you'll be able to see the good ones immediately. But if any of you out there have questions, we're an open book. We had a listener reach out just a few moments before the show about a technical issue on one of the episodes and some other content. We're happy to speak with you and give you our opinion. We are here. We want to be a resource, as I think we've said every single episode. We're here to educate and help people because we see it coming often before other people do because we're in the industry. We see the flaws and we're trying to address those flaws.